South Orange County. So Orange County has 3 million people, and it's a very small county. The north part of Orange County, notwithstanding Yorba Linda, that's been in Brea, they've been very conservative, but the other parts of Orange County are very, very liberal. South Orange County is extremely conservative. Laguna Niguel, extremely conservative. Just saying, all right? I never in a million years thought that they would go after a, let me let my dog out. I never thought that they would go after just a neighborhood like this. It's, Tara says 95% of these fires are arson. They might be smart meters or electric surge into the homes by the government. It's really despicable. At Crowdhead, it's not just a wealthy neighborhood. They're only showing the images of the wealthy neighborhood. That's what I've said. They want people to say, well, those rich people, they can afford it. No, this is a regular, normal neighborhood. And they are showing images of these giant homes, which also are being damaged, just like they did in Malibu. Yeah, you can let Teddy out. Just like they did in Malibu. They showed all these wealthy Malibu homes being burned as if that didn't matter. For anyone who loses their home, that matters. So let me, we'll show a little bit more of this, and let me just let the doggy out, and I will be with you in just one moment here.
Oh, she's gonna let the dog out.
Why, he looks like he's kind of smiling. Why does he look like he's smiling? Why, is that just me? It looks like he is smiling. That's weird. Okay, that is weird to me. It looks like he is smiling. Is that just me, or does it look like he's smiling? He looks a little too cheery. I'm not gonna say that they're in on it too, but they are reporting, and they're reporting what they're being told to report. You know that, and I know that. Oh yes, the winds, the winds. There are no winds. I grew up here. This is not windy at all. That tree is not even blowing. The only reason that's blowing is because of the fire. Yeah, I don't even want to look at, and the cameramen are there. No, if it was windy, those trees would be going like this. They would almost be toppling over. So the trees still have not caught on fire because it's within the houses. I'm so saddened by this. I'm so deeply saddened by this. Friends, I'm going to be wrapping up here. I just wanted to bring you this breaking news. I'm going to be taking this video down very shortly because it probably will get a strike. And yeah, I don't see where all the firefighters are. I don't know, this guy doesn't look too concerned. He just looks like he's a little, that's weird to me. He looks a little too cheerful for what's going on. I don't even want to see that anymore. Oh my gosh. Thank you for being with me this evening, friends. I'm here every afternoon at 4 p.m. And let's see where you are so we can take a look at your comments again. I'm here at 4 p.m. Am I still sharing my screen? No. And yeah, they just let it burn just like they did in Paradise. I watched all of that. That's where part of how I knew all this was going on.
Direct energy weapons.
Yeah, they know they can't put out the fires because of how they did it. Japan measured an elevated electrical conductivity and ionization of the atmosphere 3 days before the 9.0 in Fukushima. There has been a tremendous amount of spraying in South Orange County. People don't understand it and they say, oh, it's just haze from the ocean. No, this is a brown, heavy settling on things. And I noticed it many, many years ago when my car would have like a white residue on it. And I thought, oh, that's weird. Am I parked under a tree or something? This isn't dust, it's actual the residue. And many people have had this analyzed, and there's a high level of aluminum and phosphate or phosphorus. And I also noticed that some areas of grass were almost fluorescent green, and that was from the phosphorus that was brought from the sky as well. So my understanding is that it makes it very, very flammable. Sarah says they're getting rid of the rich houses first, get them into the penthouse prison apartments. And these are not just the rich houses, they're showing the big houses so that people will say, well, those rich people, they're not going to suffer. And it is, yes, aluminum oxide. They want people to be in the smart cities, which are actually stupid. Yes, of course it's due. Anybody can see it. Yeah, don't drink the water.
They said it started.
They're using low Earth orbit satellites. I don't even know if I believe in satellites. barium messes with our breathing, Janet says. JL sees that residue on the balcony. You can see it on your windshield, and you can see it on the windows and on your rear view mirrors, and it's not dirt, it's an actual residue. Evil is really stupid. They don't know how to create, they can only destroy. And the other thing about fire, like Satan loves fire, right? That is one of Satan's biggest joys, is to see things burn. Yes, there have been floods. Yes, there have been, basically floods and earthquakes. But I think nothing gives Satan any more joy than fire. So we are going to get through this, and there are going to be brighter days ahead. And because evil is so stupid, they're not even covering their tracks. They should have learned from the Paradise Fire, and they should have at least started some trees on fire. Like, that would have been better, right? If they had started some trees on fire, then people would have said, oh, well, look, the trees are burning also. But the fact that they're not even letting the trees burn, that's how stupid evil is. They should have learned, and they should have not burnt the cars. So a regular house fire, that's not going to happen while a tree is still standing. Why is a car burnt out? So more and more people that even are not awake are going to be skeptical about this. And more people are going to wake up. Here they are showing a really rich, they keep showing that same house over and over, which I think looks like a hotel. But if you go inland just a little bit, it's not just this block of homes. These are regular neighborhood homes that are being burnt to the ground. I didn't think it would happen in Laguna Niguel because it's not rural. I thought that the evildoers were only going to target the rural areas to get everybody into the Pack-'em and Stack-'em rabbit hutches, which I showed you before. But now it appears that they're doing it just in neighborhoods. They did it in Denver, Colorado, downtown Denver. That's weird. They did it in Portugal. They did it in Tennessee. Of course, they did it up and down California. But they can't even blame this on a forest fire. They can't even blame this on Santa Ana winds, because there are no Santa Ana winds. They can't blame this on fire season because it's May. And the last couple of days, they allowed there to be clear blue skies with actual clouds. But previous to this, my friends, I'm telling you, I almost had a premonition, because I was thinking that the spraying was so bad. I would show you the photos, but my phone's broken, and all of the photos are on my phone. I've been taking daily photos of the spraying, and I was going to show a whole sequence of days to show you that we never had a blue sky, and we have not had a blue sky for a long time. So this is absolutely horrible, and they keep showing the same image again and again. Let me see if I can have a different footage here. So yeah, they still have that same image over here. And it's absolutely stunning. Orange County is a very small county. There are 3 million people. It's big by population. Orange County was probably the very first county, in fact, I know it was the first county in California to have protest during all of the hogwash. It was the first county that defied the governor's orders. We did not close the beaches, and it's not because we wanted to go to the beach, it's because there's no authority for a governor to shut down a beach and close anything down. So I believe that this is punishment. I believe that the governor is in on this. I'm gonna have to take this video down, it's not gonna last long. So I'll leave it up for about 15 minutes after it airs, and then you can download it. I will air it on Facebook, it'll probably get me a strike, but I don't really care. And then I will have it running over at peggyhall.tv. which is a private platform that costs a few bucks a month. And you don't even pay me, you just pay, for the storage and customer service and all that. peggyhall.tv. It comes under alternative TV is what the charge shows as. So that's where I have these other videos that I cannot air here on YouTube, but I wanted to go live with everyone. So Orange County is being punished, and not just Orange County, but South Orange County. This is the area where it started. In fact, I used to think, I don't know if I want to live in a rural area. I was thinking to myself, because I think in California, the rural areas are more targeted with the terrorism and the fire terrorism and the fire warfare, because they want to get people out of the rural areas and into the cities, into the rabbit hutches, as I showed you before. And I thought, I don't know that I want to do that. And now I thought that neighborhoods were safe. I thought that regular neighborhoods were safe, and they certainly are not. You can see that these trees are standing there. I have not seen one flame outside a house. A simple question. How does a fire spread from house to house when there are no flames outside the house? And they're going to say, well, it jumped through a window. Oh, really? Oh, really? A fire is going to jump through someone else's window, and catch on fire a stucco house with a red tile roof. Hey, honey, get some more of the red tiles off the roof. Let's make a fire in the fireplace tonight. Yeah, while you're at it, if you have any old toilet seats, let's burn those too. They don't burn. It's not fuel. Yeah, the hog washers are stupid. They're actually blowing it. More and more people that don't even believe in this stuff are going to start to believe it because it's right in their backyard. So all of these people, just like in the Paradise Fire, oh, I'm sure they had some actors that came out and said what a horrible fire it was and all of that. But the fact is, the people that were there know exactly what's going on. The people that were in Thousand Oaks and in Malibu knew exactly what was going on. And then they would trot out the actors and actresses to say that it was the winds and blah, 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 blah. Yes, no. These are energy-directed weapons. It is terrorism. And I don't know about you, but I think these firemen look a little too casual. There's one guy with one hose. Okay, two guys. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Where are all the other fire trucks? It doesn't appear as though they are alarmed. Now, maybe that's just me. I would like to hear from you. The other thing that I was showing you is that there are the Packham and Stackham's, where they want people to move into places like this in Laguna Niguel out of and Anaheim. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to predict that Anaheim will be one of the next cities to have fire terrorism sloshed all over them. And that's because they have all these giant communistic prison buildings going up. We call them rabbit hutches. Here they are in Laguna Niguel. Studio houses, yes. So you're only going to get a studio. You don't even get a bedroom. And that's exactly what they want. They want everyone moved into these areas where they can be controlled. And I don't know to what degree the corruption is in the city of Laguna Niguel, because
It's like
people have told me that a
Singapore.
lot. And I have nothing against Chinese people. I have great Chinese friends, but I do have something against communists. And people have told me that they've seen so many people moving into these neighborhoods, and that it's changing, and that the government is changing. Laguna Niguel was like paradise. It was funny, like the city of paradise. It's just a very highly desirable area to live. Very safe, very friendly, very convenient, very new, close to the beach, lots of jobs, just a nice place to live. And that's why they're targeting it. They want people to live in the Packham and Stackham, in the rabbit hutches, in the communist dwellings that they can, with one turn of the key, and I know I'm repeating myself because people are hopping on the live all the time. They can shut off your access to the parking. They can shut off the elevators. They can lock you. These are all inside access. There are no outside doors. So they can close a corridor. They can have access over your ventilation system. I will never be a part of any of this, ever. I was concerned when I started to see all of these Packham and Stackhams going up in Laguna Niguel, and they're also going up in Dana Point. Not as many in Aliso Viejo, and not as many in San Clemente, but San Clemente, Aliso Viejo, Dana Point, Laguna Niguel, very conservative area, the last stronghold of conservatism, along with Yorba Linda, which is in northern part of Orange County, and the rest of it. Oh, and Newport Beach is very conservative. Laguna Beach, it's a goner. That's already, it's so left, it's turned around on itself and come back all the way around. And the other areas like Irvine is completely Chinese, 100% upside down, inside out. It is a goner. And again, I have nothing against Chinese. Oh my gosh, I have amazing Chinese friends, Chinese students, but I do have something against Chinese communists and American communists, and there are plenty of those as well. So I started to put the pieces together. I'm like, why are they putting so many Packham and Stackhams in Laguna Niguel? Do they want that many more people? Do they want an explosion of the population? Do they want all this traffic and density? Why are they doing it? Money, and they are a green city from the United Nations. Bought, sold, hook, line, and sinker. Friends, you know and I know what is going on. And I am so glad that you came on with me here for the breaking news. Oh my gosh, Allison has niece, sister, and brother-in-law living in Laguna Niguel. Please let me know what's going on. Shocking to me is that I've studied the physics of fire. Red tile roofs don't burn. The red tile roofs are made in fire. They're called fired. And stucco houses are not supposed to burn to the ground. And why are the trees not on fire, but the stucco house is? Answer me that, riddle me that, Riddler. I'm extremely upset. I'm going to try to keep my composure here. And what I also want to show you is not only are these, here's another one, at least a dozen homes burning, it says, and this is actually not far from where I used to live. I don't live there any longer, but this is basically in my backyard. And the other thing I want to show you is the not only these horrible images, but what has been happening in Laguna Niguel. Okay, Laguna Niguel is in South Orange County, and Orange County is in Southern California. Orange County has been the hot spot of fighting for liberty from the beginning of all of this hogwash. And I've been one of the major voices along with other freedom fighters here in Orange County. Orange County, along with San Diego and other counties, certainly not alone, but Orange County is one of the smallest counties that's fighting. It's one of the largest by population, and it is, let me bring this back, and it's been very interesting to read these comments as well. This area has been one of the hot spots, literally. Why are the trees not on fire? Would somebody tell me that? Why is there a fire inside the home, inside a stucco home? And not just this house where you might say, well, there was an electrical fire and it just broke out, or somebody left a candle burning. Then how are there dozens and dozens of homes that are burning while the palm trees nearby and the grass is not on fire? Let me explain something, and I think you already know this. In order for a fire to burn, there has to be fuel. And fuel is something that burns. In the winter months, my husband and I had wood, and we put wood on the fire. We did not put tile roofs on the fire to make a fire. We did not put stucco on the fire. We did not put porcelain toilet seats on the fire. We actually put flammable fuel that could be burned. So what's going on here, my friends? You know what's going on, and I know what's going on. And I'm not able to say anything on this channel about what's going on, but you know what it is. And if you don't, I want you to Google or whatever, DEW, all right? You're going to find out exactly what happens with this type of stuff. I can't even say too much because I'm going to be censored, but I had to bring you this breaking news. I'm going to be taking a look at your comments. And the other thing that I really want to share with you is what has been going on in Laguna Niguel. So for many years, there have been these giant, we call them rabbit hutches. There have been giant rabbit hutches going on up in Laguna Niguel. Now, you may think that Laguna Niguel is a conservative city, but I know and you know that there are those evildoers that are pulling the strings of the puppets. So I'm going to share my screen again, and let's take a look now, shall we, at the Laguna Niguel luxury apartments. These rabbit hutches, the pack 'em and stack 'em, are all over Laguna Niguel, and they're right by the train station because that's or the railroad tracks, because that's exactly what the hogwashers want. They want everybody to move out of their single family homes. They want them to move into the pack 'em and stack 'em rabbit hutches so that with one flip of the switch, they've got you locked in. They can turn off your electricity. I know they can already turn off your electricity, but they can do this more easily. Turn off your power, not allow you to leave your home once they close the elevators and they close the underground parking so you can't get your car out. And I will tell you that these places are empty, just like the hospitals were. I've driven by these again and again and again. And it's absolutely this is a big one right here. This is near Costco, and the freeway is, we can see some more in the background. And over the years, I actually have been taking pictures and noting, and this is happening in Dana Point, it's happening in Aliso Viejo, it's happening in Laguna Niguel, and this is exactly where, look at this. This is look at this. This is exactly where these fires are happening. So what's going to happen? Well, probably what's going to happen is here you go. These people will need to move somewhere, right? So why not temporarily move into the Packham and Stackham? Why not temporarily move into the Vilara or the Sky or the Blue? And guess what? Your taxpayer dollars are paying for it. And not even if you don't live in Laguna Niguel, because this is money that comes from the state government and the federal government. And every so often, every so many years, they have to put forth these plans of the affordable housing that they're going to put in. So what say you? And here we go. In Mission Viejo, which is right next door to Laguna Niguel, the council moves up the public hearing seeking resident input on zoning change for proposed Gardens project, March 24th, and people are absolutely against this. Do not rezone. It's just, well, yeah, a couple people, of course, are gonna wanna say that they're in favor of that. Let's go back to seeing what's going on with this. It's just a couple people, of course, are gonna wanna say that they're in favor of that. Let's go back to seeing what's going on with this. It's just absolutely horrid. This is literally in my backyard. Please join me in praying for these people that are losing their homes, their pets. And where's the firemen? Okay, there's one. All right, bring the firemen on, cue the firemen, and then what? It's absolutely, where are all the firemen? Why are houses on fire from the inside out? Riddle me that, Riddler. How did this house up here in the inset photo start on fire from the inside? And how is it that the palm trees are not burning? How is it that the grass is not on fire? But a stucco house, look at that. It almost, I'm not saying this, but it almost looks like an explosion, doesn't it? Yes, let's see what you have to say here, friends. I just had to bring this to you because it is absolutely stunning what we are seeing. And let's see where
in Shanghai, confining more than 25 million people to their homes and separating children who test positive for COVID from their parents. Will Reeve has the latest. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Michael. It has long been part of China's stringent COVID policy to separate children who test positive from their parents who test negative. And now unverified video out of Shanghai purports to show that separation in action, sparking anger among residents of China's largest city, which is now under lockdown.
This morning, more than 25 million people are in lockdown in Shanghai, China's largest city, with over 94,000 cases recorded since the beginning of March. Officials calling the outbreak extremely grim, blaming it on the highly transmissible Omicron variant. China defending its hardline zero COVID strategy, which includes separating children who test positive from their parents if their parents test negative. Authorities claiming the policy is vital to prevention and control work. These images, which ABC News was unable to verify, purportedly showing toddlers with COVID away from their parents in cribs at Shanghai Public Health Clinical Center. Outrage erupting as they circulated on social media. But the center addressing the images, saying in a statement that the children are well cared for and have been in the process of being moved high to fight the outbreak. Tens of thousands of people reportedly under observation citywide.
Shanghai, the third largest city in the world indefinitely, and reports out of China
is eerily empty. 26 million people under a massive COVID lockdown, relying on government deliveries, and anger is soaring. Social media showing videos of protests over food and medicine, a supermarket ransacked, and a building where residents have been locked down for 2 weeks. They shout, "We only want supplies. Why are you beating people?" At night, the echoes of people crying out from their windows for help. With the Omicron variant surging here, China is tightening its strict zero COVID rules to contain what is now the country's worst outbreak ever. Tens of thousands of asymptomatic people being corralled into mass quarantine centers. In some cases, children have been separated from their parents, triggering public outcry. American Josh Vaughn got swept up in the dragnet. He's trying to keep his business going from a hospital.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. 2
years into the pandemic, there is no easing up on zero COVID here. Robots patrol some streets, reminding people to wear masks.
Here in Beijing, even when
Drones,
there's
too.
one case, an entire neighborhood is blocked off. You can see the deliveries are passed through a window.
In Shanghai, drones tell people to stay home. Control your soul's desire for freedom, it says, as more cities double down with restrictions.
The economy is taking a hit too. Shanghai is a major trade hub. The port is one of the biggest in the world, and there are hundreds of cargo ships that haven't been able to dock. Add to that factories have had to close down under zero COVID, and there are real concerns about the ripple effect this lockdown is going to have on the global supply chain. Hoda?
All right, Janice Mackey for Air Force. Janice.